Catapult.
Making ideas happen.
You meet these animals and they're special and there's nothing wrong with them, and yet you're putting them to sleep, and that just doesn't add up in my mind. We had to be able to sort of do something better than that. I'm Shel Williamson and I'm 28 and I live in Perth, and my business is PetRescue. We run an internet animal rehoming service. PetRescue is an internet site that all the rescues in Australia can use to advertise their animals, and by being a centralised website, it makes it really easy for adopters to find pets that are available. I was working in a shelter. I was volunteering at one of my local shelters, and they didn't have a website. And the website that they did have didn't have any of the animals on it when they got it up and running. And the reason was that there's only one person in the organisation that could do web development. So it seemed like a bit of a shame that they couldn't get their animals online, especially when it's so effective. It really does work very well.
Do you guys call a shelter and say, well, you need to send me such and such information about your pets, and we put it on? How does that actually work?
The shelters are actually able to log in and list all their own animals, which makes it really easy for them, because then they don't have to rely on just one person. They can give the password to as many people in the organisation as they want to keep it all up to date. And that sort of ease of listing animals, I think, is where the success has really come from. We've got 21,000 animals have been listed so far, so that would be too much work for one person. It has to be a community effort, and initially getting people on board was really the key to its success, having plenty of animals on there that people could see, and the shelters have been incredibly supportive. It's been fantastic.
So was it the decision from the beginning to have it as a not-for-profit?
I think we always wanted to be a non-for-profit, because that really wasn't what we were about. We were about trying to make a real difference, and we also found that we didn't want to be taking resources away from shelters. We wanted to be bringing resources to shelters. So it was really important that we could show shelters that we were a benefit, not a drain on them. And we also have been able to do a lot of our development in-house. A lot of everything that we've needed we've been able to get just by inspiring people to get on board. And so that's obviously saved us quite a lot. I mean, we were never in it for money, and I just signed off on our last financial report, and we had $3,500 income last year. We've got $900 left over. So it's not about that. It's about bringing resources in and bringing communities in to help shelters.
What sort of work does it take on a weekly basis to run the site? I mean, does it sort of run itself almost?
We get a lot of customer feedback. We get a lot of media inquiries. We get a lot of IT-related queries, and we also tend to offer a bit of a service to the shelters directly as well. We can help them with their marketing. We can help them with their sponsorships. We can sort of offer our expertise to them. And we're a team of 3. There's myself and Vicky and John, and we kind of have skills that we really believe can benefit the rescue community as a whole.
How many hours a week do you think you put into it at the moment?
Oh, lots.
Really?
It's like having a second job. It is.
Do you guys advertise anywhere?
We do a little bit of internet advertising. We tend to use the money that we make, the small amount of money that we make from internet advertising to advertise ourselves. But people tend to find you via word of mouth. So if people have websites of their own, they can say, this is a really good site. We've got a Facebook plugin now. We've got a MySpace page now. So sort of really using technology to get the word out there.
Do you think that's the best way to market a site, is on the internet, not on sort of traditional media?
We find that it's definitely the most beneficial for us, and certainly a lot of people, I think, are doing a lot of their research now on how to get a pet and why to get a pet and what it'll be like to get a pet. And so by putting us sort of right there in front of people, they can then go to our site and get information and education on what it is to be a pet owner. Because a lot of the time, if you can get people before they get their pet and let them know what it's really going to be like and make sure that they're ready for it and educate them where you can, then we won't need rescue, and that would be even better.
And what are your plans for the future with the site? Are you just going to keep on going as it is, or do you have any other plans?
We will obviously keep developing the site to become a really useful resource. I think because we're a centralised effort, that's probably not been tried Australia-wide before. So we have quite a lot of potential to bring rescue groups together and share resources and get things happening. It's also obviously awareness of both the rescue pets and also adoption, but also the other ways people can get involved, foster caring and donating and volunteering and all those things. And we are just getting more and more visitors to the site, which is fantastic. We get about 2 million a year now, which is fabulous. We just love it. And we've got real tangible results as well. I mean, some of the pets we list go up and come down in 5 minutes. It happens so quickly. We've rehomed 16,000. We have over 300 shelters using our service regularly, and they simply don't have a lot of time, so they wouldn't be using us if they weren't getting results.
For more great ways to help kickstart your ideas and get inspired, jump online and head for Catapult at abc.net.au/catapult.